So this is backlift. This movement is really good for helping with back pain and back tension. I've found it really useful for sciatica along with side bend. Brilliant if you've been on a run or if you've been lifting any heavy weights in the gym. But to be honest, it can be good for anything, anyone, anytime. So let's begin after you've done your check-in by rolling onto your tummy and just placing your forehead down, one hand on top of the other. Place your forehead down. I've got mine lifted ever so slightly so that the microphone doesn't get too muffled. All I want you to do is begin by gently lifting your head away from your hands and lifting to look up towards the ceiling. And just notice the tension that's being created along the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders. And then rest your head down. And you could maybe even bring your hands out if that starts to feel more comfortable so that your elbows point down and your palms are either side of your head. And just gently start to lift the head from here and feel the tummy maybe sink into the floor. We want a nice soft tummy. And just notice the back muscles kicking into action. Moving the hands away might allow you to feel the lower back tense up a little bit more. And this is a movement that you will have first learned to do as a baby. And so we're just reconnecting with our natural function of the back muscles. And then next time you come down, let your head rest. From here, let your head turn to the left. I'm going to start on my left side purely because it's facing the camera, so it's more easy. You can start on whichever side you like. And I'm going to let my right arm slide down by my side so that my left palm is still where it was, elbow pointing down, fingertips kind of in line with the nose-ish. But this, you can adjust this to what your body mechanics are. And all we're going to do is see if we can find this upper trap or the upper trapezius muscle at the top of the shoulder. So to do that, we're going to gently inhale and just float this left elbow up if you're on the same side as me. Float the elbow and you want to feel the front of your shoulder and chest kind of rotate towards the floor so that the more the elbow lifts, you start to feel some tension being created along the top of the shoulder, kind of the muscle that you shrug with, but I don't want you to shrug. I don't want your shoulder to come up to your ear. I want you to just find the tension and then really gently melt the elbow down and let everything sink and let go. And just repeat that a few times if you can. Each time the elbow lifts, just notice, can you feel your shoulder blade slide up the back? Can you create that tension through the upper trap? And it might be into the neck a little bit as well. We're connecting the body together. And then really gently feel everything dissolve from tension to softness until the elbow touches the floor. And then melt, let go of everything you don't need. You can try that for a third time if you want. We're not heavy on the reps when we pandiculate. We only need to do a few. We're just highlighting the muscle that we want to release to our brain by giving it a little contraction, patterning it to everything else that it's connected to, like the neck, like the shoulder blade and the rhomboid muscle, the arm muscles, and then let everything melt and switch off together. Okay. From here, we want to try and find this rhomboid muscle. It works with the shoulder blade. So to tighten it, you're going to feel your shoulder blade move in towards your spine. The only thing we're going to lift the head for this is our head. The only thing we're going to lift with this is our head. So as we take a breath in, we want a nice soft tummy. And as you inhale and the tummy softens, just float the head away from the floor as if you're going to look over this left shoulder and let the shoulder blade slide. Let it move. Where does it want to move to? Does it pull in and maybe down ever so slightly? And can you feel the contraction of the rhomboid muscle behind the shoulder blade, maybe the neck, and then melt everything back down to the floor and turn it all to softness. What can you stop contracting when you come back down? That's the control, and that's the letting go. So when you're ready, let's try it again. Let's take a breath, float the head, feel the shoulder blade move as we notice our rhomboid muscle contract, and maybe a little bit more of this left side of the back if you're on your left side. Breathe it down. Melt everything away. Now you can stay with just that movement, or you could start to expand and explore making it a little bit bigger if that feels right for you. If you decide to move on with me, but it's too much, just bring your hand back out into here. Otherwise, we're going to take the hand and we're going to slide the fingertips just underneath the cheek that's on the floor. So now we're looking at our elbow. And we're going to think about keeping that soft belly as we've done previously. But as we inhale, we lift the head with the hand and the elbow as well. And it starts to turn into a little bit of a twist. But what you might notice is those back muscles tighten up down the active side, but also coming across to the opposite side that we're not lifting. Just a bit into the lower back, and then melt it down, breathe it away, let everything go. If we do it again, maybe just notice what this opposite leg wants to do. The opposite leg to the shoulder that you're lifting. So as we take a breath in, float the head, hand, elbow up, and just notice that opposite leg might be trying to join into the pattern. The hip on the same side as the shoulder you're lifting, you want to try and keep that nice and connected to the floor. Breathe everything down. When you touch the floor, melt and just see what you can let go of. Okay. We're now just going to try and bring some awareness to this opposite leg. This is part of your walking pattern, which is why this can be really good after you've done any physical exercise. So what if we just keep our awareness in the opposite leg, reach it along the floor just a touch, but then pick it up, keep the knee straight, float the leg to the ceiling, and just see what contracts the lower back muscles, the glute, the hamstring, maybe the calf, and then let the leg float down, breathe it away, soften everything. How was that? Do you need to try it again just to feel that movement? Feel the leg contract along with the back muscles. The tummy should be soft. The glute and the hamstrings are going to be working with the calf to pick that leg up and then melt it down. Maybe you notice your head is wanting to lift and pull with the pattern of the leg. So maybe we could put both parts together, the upper and the lower on the diagonal. So as we take a breath in, we float head, hand, elbow, and that opposite leg. Feel that pattern. This is like your mid-stride. And then melt everything down. Breathe it away. Don't forget to melt and completely switch off. That's where the magic is happening. That's what's teaching the nervous system to stop squeezing and to let go. One more time, if you can, take a nice big breath. Lift. Melt it away. Keeping the tummy soft. Let everything go. And if you're more familiar with doing this, you may want to try a third. Otherwise, roll onto your back and check in, just so that your brain gets to feel, or your nervous system gets to feel, what changes you've just made from pandiculating that diagonal across the back of the body. And once you've checked in, you can roll back onto your tummy, rewind the video, and try this on your other side. Hope you enjoy, and don't forget to finish this off with a cross lateral arch and curl, or just a straight arch and curl just to lengthen those back muscles back out. Enjoy.